Hello guys, how are you all? Welcome to my channel. So, today we are gonna see, what if Naruto trained by Nagato for Chunin exams, part 1, subscribe if you enjoy the video, let's start the story. Pain, leader of AIM, and the figurehead leader of Akatsuki, was meditating when a figure walked into the room wearing a spiral mask and said Zetsu has returned from his fact-finding mission. Assemble the others so he may update everyone on the jinchuriki. Pain nodded and Conan walked over to him and said, "Are you ready, Nagato?" Pain closed his eyes and said, "Conan, if you had a choice to make between me and Akatsuki, which would you choose?" Conan looked at Pain and said, "I am with you, Nagato." Pain nodded and said, "Good, let's go," as they both used the projection to appear in a cave with the other members of Akatsuki. As the last members appeared, Deidre said, "Why are we here again?" Pain said Zetsu is here to update everyone on their targets. Zetsu proceeded. Zetsu said Ichibi is still as old as the last time I reported. The Nibi and Hachibi are both in Kumo training together, but their exact location is unknown. Sanbi Jinchuriki has died, and the Sanbi has escaped into the sea, and its current location is unknown. The Yonbi and Gobi are both in Iwa living as hermits while reporting to the Tsuchikage every 6 months. Where they usually stay is still unknown. The Rakubi is still in the land of water. The Nanabi status is unknown. I have already informed you of the Hachibi, so that leaves the Kyuubi. Pain's eyes narrowed slightly, as Zetsu said, the Kyuubi had failed graduating early a second time. Pain said there are still too many unknowns to begin moving right now. Zetsu, continue tracking the Jinchuriki starting with those in Iwa, the rest of you continue your fun gathering missions. Dismissed. After the end, Conan and Pain were back in their hideout in AIM, and Nagato said, "Conan, please put up his privacy." Conan blinked and looked at Nagato a moment before putting one up and said, "What's wrong?" Pain looked at her and said, "Conan, remember earlier when I asked you if you had a choice between me and Akatsuki, the reason is I have to betray Akatsuki." Conan's eyes widened and said in an unsure voice, "What do you mean?" Pain said, My mother was Yumi Uzumaki of the Uzumaki clan of Whirlpool Village, before it was destroyed by Iwa Nin's Yumi Uzumaki, was the elder sister of Kushina Uzumaki, mother of Naruto Uzumaki, Jinchuriki of the Kyuubi no Kitsune." Conan gasped and said, "He's your cousin?" In a soft voice. Pain said, "Yes, I had sent a pre-top back to where my home was and began to look around and discovered a chest my mother had hid under one of the boards in the bedroom. If pre-top had not stepped through the board on accident, then I would not have discovered it. I found letters between mother and Kushina. Kushina was Kyuubi's second Jinchuriki. After I learned the truth about Kyuubi and the history of its Jinchuriki, I learned the truth, Madara doesn't care about us. He only wants revenge against Konoha and the Uzumaki clan. As far as I know, Naruto is the only family I have left. I can't let him die." Conan said, "What are you planning to do in Nagato?" Pain said, "I plan to stall the Akatsuki movement to get him while also secretly helping him to get strong enough to defeat the others. I need you to deliver this to Konoha to Naruto himself," as he pulled out a scroll from his cloak. Conan said, "What is it?" Pain said, "Everything he will need to become strong enough to face what is to come to survive." Conan nodded and said, "I'll leave immediately." Pain said to Conan, "Thank you." Conan, who had started toward the door, said, "I would do anything for you, Nagato. I'll return quickly," as she burst into a shower of paper and disappeared. 1 week later, Naruto Uzumaki sighed as he walked into his apartment and reached for the light switch after closing the door when a hand covered his mouth and he felt a kunai at his neck and a female voice said, "Are you Naruto Uzumaki? Shake your head yes or no." Naruto, who was scared, shook his head yes, and the female said, "Sorry for attacking you. I had to make sure that you were who I was searching for. I have something for you that I was asked to deliver to you. There is a scroll on your table I have left for you. When you wake up, read it." Before he felt a pressure in his neck and fell to the ground as a piece of paper folded like a needle floated out of his neck. The next morning when Naruto woke, he found himself in his bed and he blinked and thought, what the hell, what happened? As he looked around and thought, I guess it was a dream, as he got out of bed and left his bedroom to head to the bathroom, he froze when he saw his table had been cleaned off and there was a scroll by itself on his table, and Naruto thought maybe it wasn't a dream. Naruto walked over and picked up a scroll and opened and began to read. "Hello Naruto Uzumaki. I would like to tell you who I am, but I can't give you my name because you are in extreme danger and finding out my name will put you in even more danger. I can tell you this though, I am your cousin. My mother was the elder sister to your mother Kushina Uzumaki." Naruto's eyes widened and thought, my mother's name is Kushina Uzumaki and I have a cousin. Now I never actually met your mother and only actually know about her from letters she wrote to my mother when they were younger. I would have asked my mother about her, but my mother and father were murdered by Konoha ninjas right in front of me during the Second Great War. Naruto's eyes widened again and he frowned and thought, why did they murder them? You're probably wondering why they killed them. It is because the strong prey on the weak. The world is consumed by the desire for revenge, greed, and power. People cannot understand each other until they understand pain. Only through pain can the world truly come to understand peace. Now you are most likely confused by this because you do not understand true pain, yet that is until I tell you everything including what the people of Konoha have hidden from you. Naruto thought, what did he mean by that? I will tell you what I believe is true from what I have been able to discover from my mother's letters, as well as hiring some others to find out info for me. Mido Uzumaki Senju, wife of the Shodaime Hokage, was originally sent to Konoha as part of a political marriage between the land of Whirlpool, the original homeland of the Uzumaki clan, and Konoha. The Uzumaki clan was known as the best seal masters in the world, as well as having a bloodline that was called Special Chakra. Our bloodline makes it where our chakra is stronger than other people's chakra. You have failed the Genin exam twice from what I have discovered because you couldn't do the Bunshin no. The reason you couldn't was because your chakra is too strong for it right now because of your bloodline. The Sandaime Hokage knows this, but has hidden this from you along with other things. She was sent to Konoha, but was then betrayed by Konoha who had forced her to use her clan sealing knowledge to seal the Kyuubi in herself, making her a jinchuriki or a human sacrifice. Naruto eyes widen as he read this. Now I can't be sure about her being forced apart, but I do know that she did have the Kyuubi sealed into her. I also know that your mother, Kushina Uzumaki, was brought to Konoha and made the second jinchuriki of the Kyuubi when she was a little girl because she was a prodigy in our clan. My mother's diary she had with the letters I read said she wondered what happened to her little sister after she disappeared. My mother did not know what happened to your mother, so I believe that it was not the clan's choice to send your mother to Konoha. I think she was kidnapped and forced to go to Konoha. Naruto thought no it can't be. I know you probably are thinking this can't be true, and I could be wrong, I admit that, but I want to be honest with you so you can understand where I am coming from. I told you how Mido Uzumaki was sent as part of a political marriage to show they were allies, but it was not even 2 years after your mother disappeared from Whirlpool that Whirlpool was attacked by Iwa, and Konoha never came to help them. The people of Whirlpool and the Uzumaki clan were spread out into the world not knowing who lived and who died if they were our ally. As they were supposed to be, why didn't they help our people? Why is it your mom was the only survivor of Whirlpool in Konoha? Naruto, who was confused, thought why is that? Now I am going to tell you about why I don't trust Konoha. Several years ago, after my parents were killed, my two best friends and I tried to bring peace to our country and we had agreed to meet with the leader of our country as well as a group of Konoha ninja who claimed they would help us to bring peace to our country. It was a trap. A Konoha ninja by the name of Danzo runs a secret army called Root. They dress like Anbu but have the kanji for northeast on white mask. They kidnapped one of my friends and used her as a hostage, the same one who brought you this scroll. My best friend was killed that day because of the Root and the man who was the leader of my country. After that day, I found out that Danzo found out I was an Uzumaki, and because of the number of his Root ninja I had to kill in order to save my other friend's life, he had his Root ninja begin hunting down and killing every Uzumaki he could. That is why I believe that you and I are the last two Uzumaki in the world, and I only recently learned about you. Naruto's fist was clenched in anger and thought, those bastards. Now I think I should explain to you how I found out about you and your mother. You're not going to like it though, and you may hate me, and if you do I'm sorry. Naruto thought, I can't hate you. After that day I had to kill those Root ninja and the ninja the leader of my country brought with him. I created an army and killed the leader of my country. I was then made the new leader of my country, AIM country. Naruto thought he's the leader of AIM, cool. AIM country was in bad shape. Because AIM is a small country, the larger nations like the Fire Nation and Konoha would use the smaller nations as their battlefields to wage war on each other, and then once their war was over, they would go back to their normal lives and leave us with the death, pain, and destruction. That is why when a man appeared and offered me a chance to help protect my country and its people from becoming casualties of the larger nations' battles when they got angry at each other again and went to war, one was willing to do it to save my people's lives. The man told me about jinchuriki and the demons they had sealed inside them. Naruto thought, like mom and that Mido lady. He claimed that if we gathered all the Bijuu we could use them as a weapon to scare the other nations into leaving us alone when they fought their wars, and I agreed. But that was before I found out about you. You see, in order for the plan to work, I had to help create a group called Akatsuki. It is a group consisting of S-rank missing ninja. The other members of Akatsuki believe that I am the leader of Akatsuki, but I am not. The man who came to me and told me about the Bijuu is, and he is stronger than me. Akatsuki job is to capture the jinchuriki of all 9 Bijuu, and then we would seal the Bijuu away into a special statue. The man I told you about has that can hold them, but in order to seal away the Bijuu, the jinchuriki will have the extracted from their bodies and they will die. Naruto eyes widen. I didn't know about Mito or your mom then or about you, and I can't stop Akatsuki, the real leader will kill me, and the woman who brought you this scroll if I known about you, and your mother's connection to the Kyuubi I never would have agreed. And now it's too late, all I can do is stall them. You're probably wondering why my notes sound so frantic, the reason is because I don't want you to get hurt or die. The only reason I found out about you or your mother is because you are the third jinchuriki of the Kyuubi. The scroll fell from Naruto's hands as his mind went into shock. After half an hour he slowly picked up the scroll and continued reading. Naruto, there is so much I don't know. My anger over my parents' death at the hands of Konoha ninja, as well as my friend's death at the hands of Root, has caused me to make the biggest mistake of my life. The only thing I can do is give you time, help you get stronger, and try to protect you. I am hoping that you can find it in your heart to forgive me. At the bottom of this scroll is a seal. You just have to put some chakra in the seal and a scroll will pop out of it. It contains information for you to learn. Once you learn them, there is another seal at the bottom of that scroll with another scroll in it. This process will repeat over and over. There are over 200 scrolls in total, and I want you to learn them as quickly as possible in the order I gave them to you, because they will make you very strong quickly. I don't want you to just learn them, I want you to master them all. You must hurry and get strong as fast as possible. Once you unseal the scroll from the bottom of this scroll will destroy itself. If you see someone wearing a black cloak with red clouds on it, run. Run as fast and as hard as you can to get away. That is what Akatsuki wears. Forgive me, my cousin. Live a long life and restore our clan. Find happiness and hopefully peace. Don't tell anyone what you know about Akatsuki, Root, your status as a jinchuriki, your family, or me. If anyone asks where you got the scroll or the items sealed in it, say a postal nin gave it to you. When Akatsuki spies find out that you have graduated from the Ninja Academy, I will place you in the bingo book to show you that I am proud of you, and I will also put down who your mother was, our clan, our bloodline, and if I found out between now who he is or was, I will also put down your father, and I will make sure that you get a copy of it. Goodbye. Naruto let a tear fall and thought, I forgive you Itoko cousin. Naruto then unsealed the scroll from the bottom of the scroll, and a few moments later the first scroll burst into flames for a moment before it was destroyed. Naruto smiled softly and thought, I'll make you proud of all of you, as he opened the scroll and read Kage Bunshin no Jutsu. The Kage Bunshin no Jutsu is a jounin level that was originally created by the Uzumaki clan to deal with their bloodline. It divides the chakra of the user evenly between it and the original when it is used. It is a kinjutsu because of the large chakra requirement that comes with making it. The chakra requirement could kill the user if they are not careful or overuse it. This however is not true to the extent of others for the Uzumaki clan. The Uzumaki clan bloodline makes it where their chakra is 10x more potent than anyone else's chakra. Because of this, instead of dividing the chakra evenly between the user and the Kage Bunshin, an Uzumaki chakra is only divided a fraction of this. Also, a special note about the Kage Bunshin no is that when it dispels, all the knowledge the Kage Bunshin learned is transferred back to the original, which explains why the Uzumaki clan would use them to work on their chakra control, and also seals so that they could learn to control their bloodline better, as well as learn the correct and incorrect ways to do seals without blowing themselves up. It is noted when first learning to use the Kage Bunshin no in Uzumaki should get away from others in either the woods or a training ground so that if they mess up others wouldn't be hurt, as well as reduce the property damage. The seals for the Kage Bunshin are. Naruto smiled and thought, that's cool. Well, I guess I can begin to train. Just then his stomach growled and Naruto thought, well, maybe after getting some ramen. 7 hours later Naruto was in the woods painting and thought one more time as he put his hands together and said Kage Bunshin no. 12 Kage Bunshin appeared and Naruto laughed and said, I got it. Before passing out. The next day when Naruto woke, he found himself still in the clearing he was at the day before, and he blinked a moment before the memories of the previous day hit him and quickly got to his feet and put his hands together and said Kage Bunshin no. 20 Kage Bunshin appeared and Naruto said, yes, I did it. He then reached into his weapon pouch and pulled out the scroll and unsealed the next scroll and read, congratulations on completing your first step in the right direction. Now, as stated before, the Kage Bunshin no is that allows you to learn quicker, but it does not make you physically stronger. That is why you should work on training your body while your Kage Bunshin works on training your mind and chakra. However, there is a secret training method to the Kage Bunshin that is speed training greatly. Since a Kage Bunshin knows everything you know when it is created and also gets the memories of the other Kage Bunshin when they dispel. Now the secret training is every 5 minutes one Kage Bunshin dispels itself to give the original and the other Kage Bunshin its knowledge so they don't make the same mistakes he did and can learn to do something quicker. At the bottom of this scroll are 4 seals with the kanji 1, 2, 3, and 4 above them. Number 1 is a training schedule for physical training to help you improve your body. Number 2 is 5 books to help you improve your mind. Number 3 is a chakra control exercise called tree walking. And number 4 is the next scroll in the series that should not be opened until you have completed everything in the first 3 seals, because the next series are built on knowledge gained from the current task. Naruto said, "Well, I guess we better see what we got," as he unsealed the 3 scrolls and opened the physical training and read. At the bottom of this scroll are sealed a set of 5 pounds arm and leg weights. You must wear them at all times unless you are taking a bath or sleeping. There is also a stone that is solid black with seals on it. The seal is a summoning seal, and what you must do is bite your finger and put your blood on the seal and send chakra into the seal. Send chakra into it until the seal glows blue. Once it does, then take off running as fast as you can. The seal is preset to summon you after 4 minutes. If you are able to run 5 miles away in 5 minutes, then your speed will be at the right level to proceed and the seal will not summon you. You will have to put your blood on the seal and send chakra into it each time you are summoned until it glows blue, then take off running again. There are also a pair of gloves that have seals on them to teach proper hand signs. You are to make the 12 hand signs in the following order: rat, ox, tiger, rabbit, dragon, snake, horse, ram, monkey, bird, inu, and boar. If you mess up, then your hands will get a small shock and will be numb until you are summoned back to the stone. If you can make all 12 hand signs correctly, then the finger on one of the gloves will change from black to white. Each time you make all 12 in a row correctly, another finger will turn white. If you mess up, then all the fingers will be reset back to black. If you are summoned back to the stone, then all the fingers will turn back black. If you can do all 12 hand signs 10 times in a row and not get summoned, then your hand seal speed is good enough to pass. There is a metal rod with a small hook on one side and big hook on the other, and a small punching bag and a huge punching bag and a seal at the bottom of the scroll. What you will do is hang the small bag up on the small hook and send chakra into the seal on it until it glows blue. Once you do, then you start pushing right then left then right then left. Keep punching, switching hands. If you can punch the small bag 200 times total in 5 minutes, then the bag will get heavier and go from weighing 5 pounds to 10 pounds. If you don't make it, then the bag will remain red. If you do, then it will change color. There are 5 colors: red, blue, green, black, and white. The bag turns white, then your punching speed is passed for this level. After 5 minutes, you will have to send chakra into the seal again and start punching again in an attempt to get your punching speed up to level. The big punching bag goes on the big hook and is basically the same as the small bag, but it starts out at 10 pounds and goes up to 20 pounds with the same 5 colors. What you should do is try to do the running first, then punching, and then kicking, and then take a 10-minute rest before starting over again. This way your physical training is balanced. Naruto thought cool as he unsealed the next scroll and read the titles. Now I know you're thinking books are boring, but there is no such thing as useless knowledge. You never know when you could save the life of a friend or family by knowing the human body. You never know when knowing the different ways to use chakra could come in handy. You never know if you're facing an enemy who uses water, what element you can use to stop them. And you never know when the seal at the bottom of a scroll could be a trap, and instead of a storage seal, it is an exploding tag. You would never know if the plant you found in the forest could be eaten, or if it was a poison or medicine. With the knowledge from the books below you would know, but remember the secret training that was mentioned above. Now this works on books as well. Here is how you do it. Have a kage bunshin read the first page. Then have it create a kage bunshin and have the second kage bunshin read back the page from memory. If it misses one word, then the original kage bunshin must start over and read the page again before creating a second kage bunshin again, who will read what it remembers. If it remembers every word on that page, then fold the corner of that page slightly to show it is done and move to the next page and repeat the process until it runs out of chakra for the day. The next day, have a kage bunshin start from page 1 and have it create a second kage bunshin who will read back what it remembers from the day before until it gets to a page it doesn't know or messes up on and starts the process over again from that page. The human body for beginners, chakra for beginners, chakra elements for beginners, seals for beginners, plants and herbs for beginners. Naruto frowned and thought, alright, maybe books are useful and using that training method will help. Let's see what the last scroll is. Tree walking is one of the most common chakra control exercises in the world. It can be used on almost any solid surface. What you must do is send chakra to your feet and use it to stick to a tree. Too much and you blow off, not enough and you won't stick. You can never become too good at chakra control practice. The more chakra you have, the longer you need to practice. The Uzumaki clan would have kage bunshin practice this exercise every day. To pass this level you must be able to run up and down a tree 100 times each without stopping or without touching the ground. When you do, you are ready for the next level. Naruto thought this won't take long. 3 weeks later Naruto thought okay, that took longer than I thought it would, but I do feel stronger than ever, and my chakra feels easier to control, and I feel like I have even more chakra. Naruto then opened the next scroll and read, "Congratulations, you know where a first-year academy student should be." Naruto's smile slipped from his face and thought no way was I really that bad. Now for the next lesson. This is basically the next level of training built on the last level. You have 5 seals below with the next level of chakra control, physical conditioning, book knowledge, and the new field, reflex training, and finally the next tier of training. Naruto thought well let's see what we got. The physical training is like the last level, except instead of 5 minutes you have 4 minutes to do each, 10 pounds weights for your arms and legs, as well as 10 pounds of body weight to go under your clothes. Naruto thought well that won't be too hard. Let's check out chakra control. By now you have noticed your chakra control is better, but better is not the best. Chakra control is just as important as physical strength. Chakra control will be divided into 4 even teams of Kage Bunshins. Team 1 will continue to do the tree walking exercise you learned in the last tier. Team 2 will begin tree walking, but with their hands and knees to curl up the tree instead of their feet. Team 3 will begin the leaf floating exercise where they put a leaf on their forehead and get it to float an inch above their head, too much chakra and it will blow off, not enough it will either fall off or not move. Once you can do it on your head you will then begin to work on both hands. Team 4 will begin the water walking exercise. Water walking is like the other chakra control exercise, too much chakra and it will blow off, not enough, and you will sink however, because water is not a solid, but a liquid, it can move, so start first on water that is not moving like a pond, then a stream, then a river. Naruto was wide-eyed and thought oh yeah, that is going to be so cool. Let's check out those books. I hope you learned the importance of knowledge on the last tier. There is no such thing as bad knowledge. The human body for novice, chakra for novice, chakra elements for novice, seals for novice, plants and herbs for novice, strategy for beginners, how to play chess for beginners, how to play reversi for beginners, how to play shogi for beginners, how to play go for beginners. Naruto blinked and wondered why he wanted me to learn to play those games. Well let's see what reflexes are. Reflex training is an important part of a ninja's life. Reflexes will save you almost as much as physical strength and chakra. Reflex training is also one of the simplest things in the world to figure out, but it is also one of the hardest to train to do. It's simple, you learn to dodge and block sound simple right wrong. Included below are 100 rubber balls with a color changing seal on them. What you will do is create 25 Kage Bunshin who will get 4 balls each. They will then circle you and channel chakra into the balls and throw it at you where you will have to dodge as many as you can, as well as trying to catch them. Each time you catch one then you put them in the bag provided. Below that you will tie to your waist. If the ball hits the ground then the ball will stay its current color. If it hits you it will change color. If the ball reaches white that is considered 1 kill against you. After the Kage Bunshin runs out of balls they will grab as many as they can that are free and reset around you again and start over until either all the balls kill you or you catch them all. What you have to do is dodge the balls and try to catch them in the air without being killed. When you can dodge long enough to catch all 100 balls without being killed once, as well as be able to water walk for an hour, leaf float on both hands and your head, and do all physical exercise in 4 minutes, then you will be ready for the next tier. Naruto thought oh great. My cousin is a sadist. At night when Naruto limped into his apartment I thought I hate you cows. 5 weeks later, Naruto was locking the door to his apartment to continue his training and thought today is the day, all I have to do is dodge 3 more balls and I'll finish this level. Before he turned and started down the stairs and when he got to the ground level a Anbu appeared in front of him and said Naruto Uzumaki, the Hokage would like to see you. Please report to the Hokage office immediately. Naruto frowned but nodded and turned and began to walk toward the Hokage tower. 10 minutes later Naruto walked into the Sandame's office and said hey Jiji, what's up? Sandame looked at Naruto and said well I haven't seen or heard from you in over 2 months and I was worried about you after you failed the graduation test last time. Naruto said yeah, I've been training, trying to get stronger so I can pass next time. Hiruzen said so you are planning to still continue at the academy? Naruto said yeah, why wouldn't I be? With a confused look on his face. Hiruzen said well, since the academy starts in a few weeks, I haven't received your admittance form for this year. Naruto said what form? I haven't seen any form, as he looked confused. Hiruzen frowned and said I see well I happen to have the admittance form here on my desk, so if you want to sign it, then I'll fill out the rest for you. Naruto said sure as he walked over and picked up the form and began to read it and Hiruzen said what are you doing? Naruto looked up and said just reading what I'm about to sign. It's not smart to sign something unless you know for sure what it is after reading everything on it. Hiruzen said that is true, it's why my job is so hard sometimes because I have to carefully read every document that comes across my desk. Naruto blinked and started to say something when he thought wait, if I tell him about Kagebunshin, then he will want to know how I know that. I could use that excuse of a postal ninja, but I don't want you yet. And said why don't you get someone to help you? I mean with all the paperwork I've seen you do over the years it looks like too much for one person to handle. Hiruzen said true, it is too much for someone to handle, but sadly only the Hokage could, as his eyes widened a moment before narrowing slightly, and said anyways, as I was saying the academy starts next week on Monday. Naruto said okay, I'll be there with all Jiji. Hiruzen said yes, that is all, good luck Naruto. Naruto nodded and left, and Hiruzen thought, you really did give me a great idea, Naruto. Once Naruto left the office he went, got some Ichiraku ramen, and quickly went to the woods where he trains. An hour later Naruto yelled yes, I did it, as he caught the last ball. Naruto then pulled out the scroll and unsealed the next one and read, congratulations, you are now good enough to be a second-year academy student in most hidden villages. As such you should start thinking about dressing more like an Uzumaki. The Uzumaki clan wore gray, black, and blue clothing with more gray and black than blue, and it was light blue, not bright blue. They also wore a vest to put scrolls, sealing items, or other items in. Now this is important, if you look at a leaf you will notice a spiral inside the middle of it. That spiral is the Uzumaki clan symbol. It should be displayed on all your clothing, but because Konoha is using it on most of their clothing, I would have included a picture of a new symbol that better shows the Uzumaki clan symbol. It is still the spiral, but it has 4 big circles, one on the top, one on the bottom, one on the left, and one on the right still connected to the outside line of the spiral. For those who know sealing they will recognize this as a sealing symbol. Now of course you're wondering how I could afford new clothing. Sealed at the bottom of this scroll is $10,000, as well as a receipt showing the cash was payment for returning a wallet a man dropped in case anyone doubts you on the man. If anyone asks, the man had gray hair, tan skin, was shorter, and wore a suit, a scar on his left cheek, and no pinky finger on either hand. Now enough about clothing, on with lessons. Included in this scroll are several more books for you to read. For reflex training on the last tier, you had to keep all the balls from going white. Now you need to learn to dodge them before they all turn black for this tier. I won't keep repeating this over the next couple of tiers, but every tier from now on you need to go and reduce the color 1 time per tier until you can dodge every ball without being hit once. Your physical training is also going to be the same way. I've included adjustable weights with 5 pounds bars, so you can add 5 pounds every time you can do the running exercise in under 4 minutes, 5 times, without going over the 4 minutes time limit one of those times, while also doing hand signs. Keep doing them, but try to add an extra set every time you add 5 pounds of weight. When you have reached 50 pounds on your chest, arm, and leg weights each you will run out of weights. I personally feel weight training is best to never go over double your normal weight total. I figured you weigh 125 pounds, and once you reach 50 pounds on everything that will be a total of 250 pounds. Keep up the punching and kicking practice, as well as the weight training. This will help you adjust to the weights better and increase your kicking and punching speed and power. Start sparring with your Kagebunshin. Create them when you don't have your weights on, and then put your weights on so that you will be slower than they are. Start off fighting 5 of them. Once you can beat 5 Kagebunshin without actually being punched, then move up to 10, then 15, then 20, and finally 25 Kagebunshin. You need to be able to either dodge or block each of their attacks. Blocks and dodges don't count as hits, but if they hit you and you didn't block or dodge then it counts against you. Grazing hits count as a hit also, so make sure it was a clean hit or block. You also need to work on your weapon throwing and weapon use. Shuriken, kanais, and are good to start with. Use your Kagebunshin as targets, but don't try to randomly hit them to kill them. Target one area, like target the legs, and only the legs or the arms or the head. Also do this while fighting them. They will be trying to punch and kick you while you use weapons against them. If they manage to hit you then you lose and have to start over. Start with 5 like your Taijutsu and move up from there. This will help you learn to use your Kagebunshin defensively as well as offensively. You need to learn to practice your other as well as those taught in the academy. Have 10 Kagebunshin, work on each of them all day. When you can kill 20 Kagebunshin with Taijutsu or weapons, then the Kagebunshin will be allowed to use the replacement and Bunshin and Kagebunshin against you. This will help you more than you know. Now all we need to discuss is your chakra control. Included below are the instructions for chakra strings. This will be the hardest exercise for you to date. This will also be your greatest advantage later, because think about this. When you start weapon practice and your Kagebunshin can start using while you're not allowed to, that means that you will be missing and wasting weapons where you will eventually run out of weapons. In a real fight you can't have the enemy stop so you can grab more weapons. they will come in and kill you. But if you learn to use the chakra strings you could learn to move them as you throw them, as well as learning to pick them up off the ground and attack the enemy from behind if you got good enough. The uses of this are as many as the uses of Kage Bunshin. For the next 10 years you will have nothing but books to read, so you can just create your Kage Bunshin at your apartment and have them work on that and then practice your chakra control exercises. Combine those exercises together. When a leaf becomes too easy to move up to a smaller arc, then a shuriken, then a kunai, then I don't know, learn to control heavier and bigger things. Every ounce of chakra control you get will help you. You might also look into getting a close-range weapon, something besides kunai, shurikens, and learning a taijutsu style is also good, but I have no idea what style would work best for you. Maybe ask the Hokage about learning one outside of the academy style. By the time you can do all this and finish the 5 tiers, then you will be strong enough to start learning chakra manipulation, which will take up most of your time until you get out of the academy. Good luck. Naruto smiled and thought, thanks, cousin. Before he unsealed the instruction on the chakra strings and thought, damn, this is going to take a while, as he unsealed the books and saw they were just more advanced books on the same subjects from the last tier before resealing them, and Naruto thought, well, I'll let my clones practice the rest of the day on chakra control. I'll go get my cloths today. As he went created 200 Kage Bunshin and broke them into groups and had them start working on chakra control, as well as the Academy 3, which to Naruto's shock some of his Bunshin actually looked normal. When Naruto got back to town he walked into a shop and the man behind the counter said, get out. Naruto frowned and said, but the man said, look, I have the right to refuse service to anyone I want and I refuse service to you, now get out. Naruto turned and left and thought, asshole. 2 hours later Naruto was walking down the road with his hands in fists with blood leaking out of them while thinking, stupid, goddamn, motherfucking, son of a bitches, cocksucking, assholes who should burn in hell. Unknown to Naruto he was releasing Kai, which was causing everyone to become scared of him or move away from him or were frozen in place as he walked down the road. This was the sight Team 9 came across as they returned to Konoha. Seeing this, frowned and said, team, please stay here for a moment, as he saw the blood coming out of Naruto's fist and he moved over to Naruto and said hello as he tried to get Naruto's attention by touching him on the shoulder. Naruto was so caught up in his rant inside his head he didn't hear Guy, but he did stop and blink when he felt Guy's hand. Naruto looked up and blinked and screamed face-eating caterpillars as he took off running. Fenton covered her mouth to stop from laughing while Niji's lip twitched and Lee said, that is youthful. I frowned and said, come team, we must see what is bothering that youthful young man. As Naruto was running away he looked back and saw a guy chasing him and he thought, shit, what the hell. I was minding my own business when oh shit, as his eyes widened and screamed, Ino, look out. Ino was planting some flowers in a window box flower planter in front of a 3-story apartment complex when a shout of Ino, look out caught her attention before she found herself being shoved to the side. Ino screamed in shock, not realizing what was happening as she fell to the ground. As Ino looked where she used to be her eyes widened and screamed dad as she saw Naruto on the ground with blood coming out of his head from where the window box from one of the higher windows came loose from the building and fell where she used to be. As Inoichi came out of the building his eyes widened and quickly moved to Naruto's body and said, what happened to Naruto, Ino? This was the sight Team Guy came across as they arrived. I quickly moved beside Inoichi and said, how is he, Inoichi? Inoichi said, unsure, he's got a head injury. We need to get him to the hospital. When Naruto awoke he found himself in a long dark tunnel and thought, what the hell, where am I, as he looked around confused before the world around him shimmered and then Naruto blinked as a light appeared and got bigger and bigger before suddenly the huge face of the Yondaime Hokage appeared alive. Naruto thought, what the hell. In fright. Naruto then saw a red-haired woman appear in his vision and Naruto though, holy shit, this is my birth, that's my mother. Naruto then watched as he was handed to a woman who he recognized from a photo on the Sandaime's desk as the Sandaime's wife and then watched as the woman was killed and he was being held hostage. Then rescued while his mother was taken away and then as he was placed somewhere safe before Minato came back and took him to where his mother was and then he heard their words and saw the Sandaime arrive before the Kyuubi was sealed inside him. Naruto saw the world change around him and then everything went black. Later when Naruto awoke he blinked as he found himself in a hospital bed and he frowned and thought, what happened? That was a memory, my first memories, a flower. Who gave me that? Oh yeah, I pushed Ino out of the way and got hit in the head. I guess she gave it to me, as he saw a flower in a vase beside his bed and he smiled slightly. The door to the room opened and a nurse looked in and frowned and said, you're awake, leave now. Before slamming the door closed. Naruto frowned and thought, bitch, as his good mood was ruined. Naruto quickly got out of bed and found that he was in his clothes that had blood on them and thought they didn't even put me in a hospital gown. I'm sick of this shit, as he left the hospital. After leaving the hospital, Naruto, though I'm tired of this shit. I can't leave or Akatsuki will come after me. Also, I need to get stronger, so that's what I will do. I'll get strong enough to protect myself and then leave, but I'm not putting up with this shit anymore. I wonder. An hour later, Naruto was looking at the summoning seals on the black stone and using the knowledge of the books on seals, thought that is the part that regulates the time, that's the distance limit seal, that is the power limit. I could do this. 3 hours later, Naruto was looking at the modified seal he had just drawn based on the summoning seal and thought, okay, my handwriting sucks. Now that I know it sucks, I need to practice if I am going to honor my family, but that is going to have to wait. This was my last scroll I have. I have to make it to another village to get some clothes, food, and supplies. If Konoha doesn't want my money, others will, but how do I do it? This will only get me one way. I guess I could create a cage bunshin and have it in my apartment to summon me back. I'll sneak out tonight. Thanks for watching my video, see you next time, till then sayonara.